What is up, guys? This is DoubleWinning, and today I'm bringing you a Renekton ranked gameplay commentary up in the top lane up against this guy, Trundle. So the rune page and runes and masteries I decided to use in this matchup, I needed to be a little aggressive against Trundle, so I decided to take, I believe it's called my Garrosh page, which if you guys play Hearthstone, you know what I'm talking about there. And so it's got cooldown glyphs, so combined with my masteries, it gives me 12.5% cooldown reduction. I've got armor pen in my reds, and then I've got attack damage in my quints and armor in my yellows. And so I didn't really think I needed to take magic resistance against this team, because if you take a look, I'm going up against Trundle, Zed, Nami, Kate, and Cho'Gath. So the Zed, doesn't do any magic damage. Trundle's magic damage does come from his ultimate, so that can be a little bit annoying, not having very much resistances against, but it's not really going to be that prominent, I believe. And then Cho'Gath, does a pretty fair bit of magic damage, but, as a jungler, you're going to be a little starved for gold, especially if you're a jungler like Cho'Gath, who really can't take advantage of the jungle that much. And then Caitlyn, of course, she does attack damage, and then Nami, she's support, so I shouldn't have to worry about her magic damage all that much. So, with the cooldown reduction, though, it's going to allow me to play really, really aggressive against Trundle, and, hopefully secure a snowball off of that, because, Renekton is a great laner, but it really does come down to putting down as much pressure as you can early on, so that you can snowball the rest of the game. Against Trundle, though, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to just take Doran's Blade, though, just because, Doran's Blade is an item that you want to take if you think you're going to go for, like, a level 2 or level 3 kill, because that's when, around level 2 or level 3, is when that attack damage would be really, really nice, and when your health potion is gone at that point, usually. And after that point, that's when the Doran shield is probably providing you with more health. So I messed up my Q there a little bit, just because you want to make sure you're getting the Fury Qs off, which are going to give you the extra healing. And you can see here, I'm kind of getting beat around by the Trundle a little bit, but I recognize, that this was mostly just me playing the lane a little bit mechanically wrong. And if I just, focus a little bit, I can actually play this lane correctly, and it should be fine. Renekton is a pretty good pick against Trundle, just because if you can manage to ult after Trundle ults, then he's not going to steal as much HP from you, as well, because it's a percentage of your HP, as well as you don't actually gain any armor or magic resist from using your ultimate, which is a big part of why Trundle came into popularity, is because Shyvana was so popular, and so you would pick Trundle into Shyvana, and you would steal a bunch of her resistances and things like that. Of course, he still is effective against champs like Mundo and Shyvana and Renekton and things like that. It's just Renekton is probably, out of that kind of tank meta, is probably the best choice is to pick Renekton. So we see Cho'Gath come up here. I didn't have it warded, so because I had his the red side of I put my trinket ward at the entrance of his jungle. I wanted to see if we can get some information there, just because I don't know too much about Cho'Gath, so it's nice to kind of get a general idea of what's going on with Cho'Gath. So right there, just a little thing you can kind of see. So if you look at Trundle, I mean, like this probably seems pretty obvious to you guys, but you really got to take advantage of situations like this if they ever present themselves to you. So I should have auto-attacked before I W'd here. It's possible that if I auto-attacked before I W'd, I might not have needed to flash, and I should be moving forward, which I'm kind of moving forward with. And then I messed up my E a little bit, because I dashed this way as opposed to this way. So I might, if I would have gotten the auto attack first before my W, and then gotten the right E angle, I probably wouldn't have needed to flash here, and I still would have gotten the kill on Trundle, as well as those mistakes, aren't going to be presented to you very often, so you really need to make sure that you're taking advantage of them, which I did there. I was able to get the kill, but like I said, if I handled that mechanically better, then I would have been able to kill him without using flash, which is a very valuable resource to have when you're going against Trundle, Cho'Gath, because both of them have skills that, Trundle has his pillar, which you need to be able to either flash over or something like that, and then Cho'Gath has his knock-up, which, sometimes you need to be able to flash to dodge, as well as just having flash allows you to be a bit more aggressive, because you can overextend just a little bit, especially as Renekton, because he has his E. So if you have double E and flash, there's really nothing they can do. So this is a small little thing I've been doing more as Renekton. If you guys know, I made a little pledge that until I have a positive win ratio with Renekton in ranked, because I used to play Renekton really, really bad. used to play him really, really bad, and so I had a really bad win rate with him. So I decided that until I get a positive win ratio with him, which I'm making my way there, I'm just going to use the default skin for Renekton. Even though I love his skins, just as kind of like a punishment, little reward system, for doing well as Renekton, I can play with the skin. So I do a little proxy farming there, which allows me to farm the double golems, which puts me a little bit ahead of Trundle. It also makes sure that I get a perfect wave of CS, because there's no creeps or towers or anything like that to kind of scumbag the creeps from me. So plus I knew I was pretty safe there because it's a little thing. So a little thing about proxy farming is if you know where their jungler is, or if they have a weak jungler, or if you have an advantage or something like that, and you go proxy farm, what it's going to do is you're going to get perfect CS. If they go to fight you, they're going to miss CS at tower, and if you're stronger than them, you can straight up just fight them. You can fight them off, and then if their jungler comes up, you can evade them, and then you can try and call for your team to do something else. There's a lot of advantages to proxy farming if you do it correctly. If you just dirty farm behind the tower, and you have no idea where their jungler is, and they just end up killing you a bunch, then you're not doing anything good. Like if you keep proxy farming and then you're like, team, what are you doing? It's no good. So you see from my item choice here, I decided to go Vamp Scepter first. The reason for this is just because Trundle has such high sustain, and so I knew that I was going to need kind of extra sustain outside of my Q, so I decided to get the Vamp Scepter there just to kind of boast my sustain a little bit, and it's also going to help me if I do proxy, if I do okay, that's terrible. I swear I'm not 12 years old. If I decide to do proxy farming or farm the jungle and things like that, the Vamp Scepter is really going to help. So again, when you're proxy farming and you have a cannon minion wave, just make sure to auto attack the canny first, because the rest of them should be taken down by your skills. And then, then just check on what's going on with the jungle camps. That was a really good pillar by him. He actually trapped me there. So I am level 7, and so I'm not really that worried about Trundle, because if you look at his items compared to mine, I have a Doran's Shield and a Vamp Scepter, and he has a Doran's Blade and a Longsword. So technically I am stronger, especially, if I can ult after he ults, then I'm going to be a lot stronger than him. So I wasn't really that worried, but at the same time, I'm just going to back here, and I'm just trying to play consistent. So you'll see also I decided to go for my first my first item after Vamp Scepter. I decided to get Ninja Tabi, and so a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why would you get tier 2 boots so early? Because a lot of people say that's not the choice you really want to get. Well, the reason I wanted to do tier 2 boots early is because I knew that I had pretty much decided at this point that I was going to be proxy farming a lot, and that I was going to be invading the jungle a lot. And so if you look at the Ninja Tabi, it's going to give me extra armor, which is going to block more damage from the minions. It's going to give me more movement speed in case I need to evade the jungler if they're coming. And plus, Ninja Tabi is going to be really, really good in this matchup, because while they do have a pretty fair amount of CC, they also have a lot of AD on their team. So being able to get that extra armor to block damage from auto attacks, block damage from just physical abilities, is going to be really, really beneficial to me. So you can also see that I'm starting to create a little bit of a CS lead, even though I had a CS disadvantage starting out this game. So I'm probably gonna miss. Yeah, that was I messed up the Q really, really bad there, and that's just mechanical error on Renekton. And so Trundle's going to go pretty ham here. So right here, so he's used his ult on me, and so I'm just going to try and run away, because I don't want to really fight him here. And so me having flash up here is really, really nice. I dropped the laugh just because sometimes you got to drop a little disrespect, just to remind them that who's boss. But I didn't really want to use ultimate there, because I didn't think I could turn the fight around at that point, because he had gotten a really beneficial situation for himself, because he had pillared me, and trapped me and made me take a few tower shots, and he had gotten some good autos when I couldn't really trade backwards. So if I would have ulted there and tried for the fight, maybe I could have turned the fight around, but most likely it would have just it would have just been him almost killing me, and then Cho'Gath coming up and cleaning up. That's another thing, is I didn't really know where Cho'Gath was at the time. So I also know that with my Doran's Shield and with my Vamp Scepter, though, I can pretty much sustain here, because I don't really need to worry about him tower diving me or bursting me, because both his tower dive and his burst is built into his ultimate. His ultimate does 20% of an enemy champion's maximum health as magic damage. So his burst damage is gone, because while his ultimate, does, from 1,360 health, it does about, 250-ish damage instantly. And then, well, no, it doesn't. I think it does half of it, right? Yeah, so it just do a little bit of burst, and then he has auto Q, and so that would do a pretty good amount of damage. But overall, it's not gonna be able to kill me. And so right here, Trundle's used up all of his mana, so he realizes that he has nothing he can do at this point. It was still pretty close though, just because I was pretty low, but he was pretty low too. And if you just recognize that they don't have any mana, then you can try and go ham on them, and that's exactly what I did. So I'm just gonna continue farming here. Cho'Gath's gonna come up in a second, and I think I just run away from him. Yeah, they ping Cho'Gath, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just run over here. Then Cho'Gath's like, oh, where'd he go? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep farming, because I've got my Q, I've got my Vamp Scepter, so I'll sustain a little bit off of that. And now you can see kind of the fruits of my labor so far. So I have 90 CS to Trundle 75, and the wave is pretty much even here. So I also did just freshly buy. So I have 2 kills, and he has 2 deaths, and I have 15 CS above him. So I basically have like 3 kills on him, as well as I have a huge level advantage, level 10 to level 8. That in itself isn't that great of an advantage, but when I hit level 11 to Trundle's level 9, that's when we get a big advantage here. And so, again, I just go and I decide to proxy farm here. If I was just proxy farming for the sake of proxy farming, it probably wouldn't have been as good. Also, I do apologize, the mini-map bug here. It's not really telling, it's not really showing when camps are up or where the towers, etc. are. It's buggy when I use a game from an old replay, so I apologize for that. But if I was just proxy farming for the sake of proxy farming, it wouldn't be that great on Renekton, just because Trundle does scale better than Renekton in terms of just like 6 item late game. Who's going to do better? Trundle's probably going to do better, just because that's how Renekton works. And so if he gets a really good ultimate off on me late game, which I do believe I fight him later, and you guys will see how well that goes when I fight him under unideal circumstances. But you can see here, I'm trying to make sure I deny as much CS from him as possible, because while Trundle does become that kind of late game beast, if you can just kind of hold that off for as long as possible, and you stay really, really relevant by staying ahead and being that really strong bruiser, then your game's going to go a lot better. And again, I just basically decided that this side of the jungle would be mine. Cho'Gath doesn't have a fast clear speed, and since he showed bottom, it's just going to allow me to take the red. And I should probably also I'm sorry, I meant to show just the blue side vision. That'll probably help explain things a little bit better, so I apologize for that. But you can see here, I've got myself a 30 CS lead. Trundle went and died somewhere. I didn't really know, but he used to teleport, so I assume he just died because he went and teleported somewhere. But you can see I'm also going for Hydra, and then I believe I'm going for the Tiamat, and then I believe I build the health crystal into a Kindle gem, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but we'll see in a little bit. One thing is Renekton. I remember I used to build Brutalizer. Don't build Brutalizer on Renekton. If you're going to build an AD item, you probably want to build Tiamat, just because the main reason is because you can use it as an auto attack reset. So when you're using your W, so if you auto W and then use your Tiamat or Hydra active, it cancels out of the animation, so it cuts it down a little bit so you can get another auto attack in, and it really helps you practice weaving your abilities together. Plus it helps you farm waves faster, it helps you clear jungle camps faster, etc. So Trundle's trying to fight me here, and like I said, this is where I was talking about where I was level 12 and he was level 9, and now I'm level 13 and he's level 10, which is pretty much the same level advantage here, except for he's closer to getting level 11. And so right here I'm just going to try and hold him off of his creeps for a little bit longer, which is going to continue to give me a huge creep advantage. However, I do get caught here because their Zed and their Cho'Gath come up, and I'm kind of like, oh no, and I get popped, and then Vi is like, I don't think I want to do that. So that was a small mistake by me, but the concept of it was okay. I just didn't really have the map awareness to really pull it off that well, because I was keeping Trundle away from creeps, which is what I want to be doing, but it does get harder and harder the more you push the towers up. So at this point, what it would be good for me to do is go ahead and roam, because you can see this mid tower is still up and bot tower is down. So all we need to do is get mid tower, and we're gonna open up this whole side of the map here. if we get the wards, you know, somewhat like right here and right here, then we'll basically own this whole part of the map. So it'll be really, really good for us. Vi does go and slay the dragon, which is good, and I think I actually, I think this is where, I think it's coming up where I fight Trundle here, and he's going to have his ultimate, I'm not going to have my ultimate, and he's going to have Blade of the Rune King. So he just hit a pretty big power spike, and while I have a huge CS lead on him, fighting him without my ultimate, and him having his ultimate, and he had red buff. I didn't even catch that in the fight before. So I don't have my ultimate here, so I'm pretty much screwed here. I'm literally doing no damage to him whatsoever. Because his Blade of the Rune King is going to make him sustain so much, and his ultimate is going to make him, his ultimate plus Blade of the Rune King is really, really strong, because his ultimate is going to do 24%, and then the Blade of the Rune King is going to do 15%. So you basically do 40% of their max health right off the bat, and then I don't have an ultimate to kind of turn the fight around. So that was a mistake by me, a big mistake that I definitely learned from, you know, and I also make sure to get myself some more armor here, because I remember there's a reason you can't go full damage on Renekton. It's because you can just really get outplayed hard. So I decided to go get the chain vest, which I am going to build into a Sunfire cape. You know, pretty standard Renekton stuff. I'm not really going over a lot of the basic Renekton stuff, you know, like max Q, then max your E next, and you know, and talking like taking teleport, things like that. Most of the reason I took teleport here wasn't to roam. Actually, it was mostly you know, if my team needed me for a dragon fight, I could do that, but it was mostly just so I could get back to lane and continue pressuring. Because with someone like Trundle, who can really you know, lay the smackdown in the sustain wars, it's nice to have an ability to just kind of back and get back to lane really, really quickly and continue pressuring top, as well as you know, with me, you know, going through the jungle and all that, and I just need a way to kind of get around the map and have more mobility. Ignite would have been nice, but Ignite does kind of shut off some options. Like, it would have basically been, I need to kill more as opposed to have more pressure on the map, because also the threat of TP is really, really nice. And plus, I actually thought Cassidy was going to be taking TP as well, but he ended up not taking it, which is fine. You know, if he's going against Zed and he wants Ignite to fight. But alright, so this is the first time we see me use my teleport to kind of help my team out here. And at first it doesn't really look like that great of a teleport. You know, there's no instant reward from it. But basically what I was trying to do with this teleport is just basically encourage my team to be doing objectives, which is exactly what they were doing. They grouped up to go get the mid tower, which I agreed with was a good choice, you know, while Cassidy decided to roam or to put a split push bottom, which you know, he does end up coming up pretty quickly, which Cassidy can do, because if he's got full mana, he can roam really, really fast. And luckily with our comp, we can actually push towers pretty quickly, because we've got Lucian, who's going to get the double shot, as well as he does have Sheen right now. You know, it'll be better when he has Triforce, but with the Sheen, it'll allow him to really you know, put that extra spell blade damage on the tower. And then we see that we have a fight coming in here. Nami throws the wave, and so at that point I'm pretty much like, all right, well, time to, you know, turn on the jets. And so I ult here in a second, I believe, unless I've already got my ult going. Yeah, I've already got my ult going, my bad, I couldn't really see it. But we get a pretty decent fight here. You know, I'm taking tower shots, so that was a little bit of a mistake here, and that's when I kind of realized, oh shoot, I'm taking a lot of damage here, and so I decided to flash out. I live just a little bit because Sona hits me with the heal, and then Cassidy's basically going to come in here and get that fresh clean up. So Zed ults onto Lucian, Vi hits him with the knockback, and then Lucian's able to heal with his lifesteal and with Sona's heal, and then Cassidy barely misses the kill on Nami, and then I'm like, no, don't, this is a terrible idea, don't kill the Nami, we can just push the tower. But then Lucian's going to go ham here, he's going to target the Nami, get the double shot, and then the tower shot's going to come in, and see ya, nerd. It's like, come on, dude, like, what are you doing? So, you know, we ended up getting the tower. The team fight didn't go perfectly, but it still went all right. And then, you know, I'm just going to continue farming because the farm's there, so I might as well take it. And, you know, I do have Hydra, so I'm going to heal off of any AoE farm that I do. And then, you know, top lane, of course, needs to be farmed. And I decided to push that out as well. So I do, you can see I have the Kindle Gem, which is going to give me, I believe, 22.5%. Yeah, 22.5% cooldown reduction, which is going to give me a lot of rotations of my my abilities, as well as going to keep my my ult on a low cooldown. I get the 2 E's off there. I use 1 E and bait out his pillar, and he uses the pillar, and then I'm able to E over it, which Trundle's pillar can actually stop him sometimes, because if he uses the pillar to slow you down and then he accidentally places it wrong, he's gonna have to walk around it anyway. So oh yeah, I typed in chat because he actually gave himself away here. So let me show you what I meant by that, because he put a ward down and actually gives him away. So if you see right here, this shouldn't be here, but that's a replay bug. Okay, so see right there. You guys see that? Let me do it one more time. Okay, that's when I come up here. Okay, watch this bush. You can see this even if you don't have vision of it. Wait for it. Oh, damn it. See, do you see the ward being placed? I knew Trundle was there at that point. So that's when I kind of realized I needed to keep this creep alive for the E, and I placed myself in a position where I could use the double E. Since I don't have my ultimate up, I made the mistake before. Maybe he doesn't have his ultimate up. He doesn't have his Blade of the Rune King up or something like that. He doesn't have his blade up, but he does have his ultimate up. I wasn't willing to take that chance, especially since he has bought recently, and I guess I don't have all that much gold on me, but it's just like the little things. I don't want to make that mistake again, so there's no real reason to fight him there. Maybe I could have won that fight, but didn't really want to risk it. So I decided to go back here, and I think I wait for the Sunfire Cape. If I'm looking at my gold, yeah, I'll probably just wait for the Sunfire Cape. Yeah, so I get Sunfire Cape, which is really good on Renekton. Because it's going to give you an extra little bit of... well, the tankiness is the same as a Giant's Belt and a Chain Vest. Actually, no, they made it so that you get a little bit extra health now. And then the magic damage per second synergizes really, really well with his ultimate, because his ultimate does magic damage AoE 60, plus you're going to do 40 from that. So... except for I think it's lower than that when you roll 15. I think that might be a bug as well. So... Unless it actually does scale up more than 40 at level 18, which would be pretty cool. But what this is really, really good for is most of them are going to be building armor because, or at least Trundle is going to be building armor because he knows he's going against Renekton. So if you build a little bit of mixed damage in there, it's going to make your damage output more effective. And again, it just adds to the wave clear that you're going to be doing. And like I said, it synergizes with your ult really well. And what I mean by that is you're going to be this huge hulking force in the middle of team fights. Your ult's going to be doing 60 damage, or 80 damage depending on what rank it is. And then your Sunfire Cape's going to be doing magic damage. All the while, if they're not killing you, that's every second you're doing that AoE damage. You could potentially be hitting 5 targets with that. Most likely you're not going to be hitting 5 targets with that, but if you do, that's 500 damage per second that you're potentially doing. That's ridiculous. So more likely you're going to hit 2 to 3 targets with this, so that's still 200 to 300 damage per second that you're doing. And then if you're throwing your Qs in, what you're doing 250 times however many targets you hit, your Tiamat or your Ravenous Hydra is going to be doing AoE. Like, you have so much AoE damage that if they don't deal with you, you're going to really shred their team down. Like your Q does AoE, your W actually does AoE as well when you have a Hydra / Tiamat. Your E does AoE, your ult does AoE. You just kind of become this constant AoE damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it adds up because you're so tanky, so you're not dying. So I kind of get caught there, with my pants down, and so I end up dying. Just a little bit of a mistake there. Really, really nice save by Vi there. Vi and the Lucian Flash combined to make a pretty decent play there. So they're gonna punish that. They're gonna push the mid tower. I don't think they get anything more out of it. And I'm going to teleport bot here because I did see that Zed was pushing that wave. And I thought that he was going to stay, but he ended up not staying. But it's okay here because I'm just going to keep pushing because Renekton is a really, really good split pusher. He can get away from a lot of people. And then, I just put a little bit of a disrespect. When I play these games, I like to have fun. So you don't have to emulate the disrespect that I do, whether it be laughing or taking a nap. You can see when I play Fizz, I take naps a lot, and I recently found out that Renekton can actually take a nap as well, because normally I play Pool Party Renekton, so I just spam the B, but then I found out that with the default skin, well, with any of the skins, you can take a nap, or kind of do a lounge, and so I thought it's pretty fun to do. So we're gonna group up bot here since I believe... we've already got this tower. This one is kind of low, so we could maybe push that, but we're already grouped down here, so we're going to decide to go ahead and take that. Kassadin gets Zed ulted, but then he gets a good Zhonya's, and we basically just keep, oh man, I totally forgot about that. Okay, So this is a pretty sick play here. So so Cassin's gonna come in here. He's gonna almost kill the Kate, but it's not gonna be quite enough. She gets healed. She Zonia's the Zed ultimate. Zed flashes away. Lucian throws in the culling, and I see this perfect opportunity. So she hits with the little knockback thing, and I'm actually gonna E through. Use the W, I believe. I think I used W, and then I have my second E, so I'm gonna flash E here in a second, and it's gonna get me a double kill. Flash E Q, and I get myself a nice triple kill. Which it looked pretty fancy too, and with a little Iggy topping the charts, I think fancy is exactly the route you want to be going. Is that bad? Should I have not said that? But either way, then Sona gets a double kill, and I cry because looking back, maybe if I would have played that a little bit differently, I could have gotten a pentakill on Renekton, which would have been beast. So I tell my team to just come mid. I can tank the tower since it was already low. We can go ahead and push that. We weren't going to be able to push the Nexus towers quite there. We could have tried to get really greedy and went for it, but I'm at this point. I was like, no, I'm getting another Renekton when I don't want to throw it. So I decided to go even more tanky here. Get myself a Rando and Dolman, and then I get Sweeper just in case the game drags out a little bit longer. We're going to be able to go for Baron, which I believe is up. It's just the replay bug. So we're gonna go check out Baron here. So I don't have Sweeper up yet because I just bought it. There's that little delay time for it, but I think we decided to bait out the Baron a little bit here, and we're just trying to get a fight going, because if we get one fight going, we can basically walk into their base and end the game. And so Cho'Gath got caught out there a little bit, and this is a little risky for me here, but I kind of figured if I get caught, my team is close enough that I can survive, and so I'm gonna fire off my ultimate, and like right here, this is what I was saying before. I'm just standing in the middle of their team, and I'm doing tons of AoE damage, and I'm just front lining and just tanking up all their damage. So there's no aggro on Sona and Lucian right now, or Kassadin, just because I'm front lining pretty strong, and plus they had they got caught out here, so their team fight isn't that great. But if Sona and Lucian are left to do their business, then Sona's going to be providing heals, going to be providing movement speed, going to be providing slows, going to be providing a little bit of damage, and of course her ultimate's really good too. All the while Lucian's going to be blasting, shooting, and just obliterating the enemy team. So that's really your job as Renekton. You can't just build full damage and try and just assassinate someone. Unless that's how you want to play, which I don't really like that style of Renekton. But this is the end of the match. I do hope you appreciated. I hope you liked watching the game. I know I don't upload a whole lot of Renekton. That's just because I don't have a whole lot of good Renekton games. But I am pretty proud of this game. So if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like rating, share it with your friends, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Links are in the description. And you can catch my live stream over at twitch.tv/DoubleWinning. I'm actually Plat 3 right now. I've been working my way up in ranks, so I'm pretty excited about that. So, and as always, guys, stay classy and keep winning.